3 seasons of the show have passed, and I cannot believe we're into the 4th. The spirit of the show really belongs to the guests and everyone who interacts with us online. Now that I look back at the past 3 seasons, I can't help but feel inspired. Our guests are the stars of the show, and people should be able to listen to their stories and speak to them. I wish. If only we can have our lovely audience join us, join our talk at the studio, and be part of the show. Yes, IELTS Face-Off show with live audiences. I'm so excited. A brand new season of IFO has come. So hot. Để mình nói cho mà nghe nhá. There's something hot brewing, and it is season 4 of IELTS Face-Off. In this season, we're gonna see more people, new guests, and somebody that you're gonna love. So why don't we go and see what's brewing for us? Come on. Come on, everybody. Come on. Woo. You go, girl. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for being here. It's a new season. It's already season 4. Wow, what a journey. We've seen so many guests, probably all close to 100 guests, and we've changed this season's slogan, and that is reach further. With the new slogan, we definitely want to inspire everybody at home to be able to do everything better than how you're currently doing everything, including your education, including your love life, including friendships, family, and everything that you're passionate about. And there are a lot of new things this season. We have the audience, and that's an amazing thing. You're also going to be able to be part of the Voice of the Week section, and you're also going to go into the studio. And the winner of the Voice of the Week is going to experience something special. So this season, we have greater prizes, we have better gifts, we have more people, and we're also able to show you a glimpse of the beautiful Vietnam that we live in. You know, we're just going to be able to introduce the new studio set for you. Let's take a look at the overall new studio set and see how beautiful it is with our new furniture. This is our amazing new studio. This is the place where our Voice of the Week will do their test. So it's going to be live. And we have this great new furniture. There's no more bathtub. There's only an LCD screen. There's also a lot of places for people to talk. And this is a new piece of furniture.
I like a very sexy piece of furniture. Thank you very much.
Are you my co-host?
I suppose so. Do you want me to be your co-host?
I don't think you're my guest, so you're definitely my new co-host.
Okay, well, you're in for some competition this season, then.
I'm not sure if I see you as competition, Michael. Let's see, but I heard you have a gift for us because one of our first guests is your friend.
Oh, is he? Who may that be?
I don't know. Let's take a look.
If you've heard anything about me, you've heard that there is a coach who helps his students achieve their American dream and have a sexy body. I am Eric TM, a US college admissions counselor, and a master coach. Students come to me for 3 reasons: study abroad in the US, improve their English, and take their life to the next level. To succeed with me or any other great mentor, put your self-image and ego aside. Say yes to things you're uncomfortable with. Listen to opinions from experts and find the right expert, because when you follow a person's advice, you will have that person's life.
Oh, it's Eric. Eric's your friend?
Yeah, he is.
I've met him a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he and I go way back, but I'm not sure how to feel about seeing him after all these years.
Okay, let's see. Eric, where are you? Eric!
Hey guys. Phoebe.
How's it going?
Great to see you.
Great.
Oh,
How are we doing this?
Who do we have here?
Yeah,
There we go.
All
I miss
right.
you, buddy.
Okay, guys,
Nice to be back.
All right. Great to be here.
He's strong. Ooh.
How does it feel? Is it hot?
Feels great.
So we're back in the studio, and Michael, your good friend, is here.
Absolutely.
Michael and I were high school friends, right? He went to a different class. But then we had this idea that we wanted to build a football team. So we went around and we built a football team. The slogan was, "Make it unreal."
And now we've made it real, yeah?
And now we made it real, and I'm so glad.
You guys were friends for a long, long time.
Yeah.
How is it like seeing each other again? And do you guys still respect each other as you did back in the day?
Michael is a very special friend of mine. When he came up with that slogan for our football team, "Make it unreal," and that actually became a slogan of my life too. I want to do things that feel unreal.
I'm melting there.
Alright.
Believe it or not, I actually spent hours last night reviewing the script over and over again. I felt sort of a little bit intimidated because I've witnessed, developed how much you have turned into such an influencer, and the work that you're doing is inspiring many young generations. I do like the fact that you'd like to influence people to love things instead of telling them to love things.
Yep.
How about you, Phoebe? You're a bit of an influencer yourself too.
I don't know if I would call myself an influencer, because influencing is a long journey. If I can potentially influence people along the way, then that's going to be a blessing. For me, it's a lot of important things, you know, like as people, we're always trying to be better at something. You know, at certain points in time, we think we're really good at something. At other points, we think we're good at others. It's just, I think, very, very mind-blowing to be able to come back to Vietnam and discover how Vietnam has so many gems and how there's so much creativity and so much energy and passion in this country. And people like you guys are coming back to the country and working to grow this community. You know, this season and this episode's theme is comeback.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, you know, having talked to Michael, we know that you've had multiple renewals throughout the different years in your life. What are some of those renewal experiences that you've come across for yourself?
I would say there are a few turning points in my life. The first turning point was when I got into the same school with this guy right here, the foreign language specialized school. It was the first time I was exposed to just so many activities and so much energy in the school. My second turning point was when I got to study abroad. Life abroad just took my life to a whole different level. You know, there's so much to say about that. And my third turning point was when I started helping people to study abroad and to take their life to the next level. And that's when I feel like I am myself the most and I'm fulfilling my destiny.
So speaking of fulfilling your destiny as someone who wants to help other people, what has sort of motivated you to become the person that you are today? What is your mission?
It's great that you said the word mission. I do believe that most people have something they call a job. And if you're a little bit luckier, you have something you call a career. But if you're really lucky, then you have a calling. So for me, it's like a calling. And that calling came really when I just enjoyed my life. I knew that I had to do certain things and meet certain people. And I just wanted to share that same feeling with other people, you know.
So sharing is loving, basically, for you?
Yes. In life, I believe that in order to realize your calling, you have to do something that you're passionate about. You have to do something that you're very good at. And third, you have to do something that create a lot of value for other people. So really, the job I'm doing now is the intersection of those three things.
A lot of people find you very inspirational, and I've heard that you managed to score a scholarship. How did you do this? Could you share with us some of your tips?
First of all, you gotta really want it. And the people that really inspired me to go on this journey were my parents. Because my parents happened to get scholarships to study abroad as well. And the funny thing is, they never told me that, son, you should study hard, son, you're not doing well at school, or son, work harder. All they did was telling me about the great life they were living abroad. And they never even told me to study abroad. But when they were telling me about all this great life, I was like, I want to try that. You know, I want to live that same life. From then, I set foot on my study abroad journey.
Given all the things that you've gone through in life, what do you think about? What's your thought process in a day? Yeah, what do you think about when you wake up? As you progress through the day, how does that change?
Actually, one of my students asked me how I maintain positive energy all day. I got a ritual, actually. When I woke up, the first thing I did was listening to my mentor, listening to their words to set my mood for the day. Well, it is a scientific fact that the hormones of stress create diseases. So simply by thinking, you can create diseases for yourself. Thinking can make you sick. It's also possible that thinking can make you healthy and strong. And so that's how I started my day, listening to my mentors, set my thinking right.
I've noticed something about you and what you do these days. Media exposure is an important part of your life now. I see that you've brought in your whole crew and received a lot of press attention as well. What does it mean to be famous, and how do you handle all of this attention?
What's important is what you create. When I work with my students, the most meaningful moments for me is when they send me messages or when some of them send me videos saying how their life was touched and how their life was improved. And every time they do that, they push me a little bit harder so that I can give the attitude, the skill, and the knowledge to even more people. So it is my students who inspire me the most.
So to all the students who have inspired you and the young generations that you've dealt with a lot of the time, what message would you like to send out to them?
There are many messages, but if I could just pick one, and that is, if you love life, do not waste time.
Right.
All right, I think it's time to open the floor. Everybody in the audience, who has a question for Eric? Yeah, we have one beautiful lady over there. Okay, let's see what questions she has.
So first of all, thank you very much, Eric, Michael, and Phoebe, for your talk. It is very inspiring. So I have a question for Eric. You talked a lot about positive energy, but have you ever encountered a problem in your life?
Thank you very much for that question. Of course, I have encountered so many problems in my life. The important thing for me to remind myself when I encounter a problem is that suffering really is just me obsessing about me. As soon as I shift my focus to something greater than myself, it could be my students, it could be the people I love, as long as I shift my focus to that, suddenly the problems disappear. So I would say that's my mantra, thinking about doing something that is bigger than yourself.
Yeah, I think that's incredible. I also think, each one of us, when we only think about ourselves and our lives, there's only a limited number of things that we can really think about and that we care about, right? When you guys were younger, you guys were friends. Do you think you'll still be friends 10 years from now?
Definitely.
Absolutely, but we are friends in a different way now, I'd say. Back then it was just, two boys wanting to play some football, so we wanted to rebel. So the rebellious days are over now, but I'm not sure about you, buddy. What's happening for you now? Are you still rebelling, or have you conformed?
I really don't think about it as being rebellious or conforming. I think that as long as I do what I feel is right, then that's good. For most people's opinions, if they're not experts in certain fields, and if the opinions are not positive, if they're not pushing you forward, then just don't listen to them and keep moving.
How do you find the right experts in your life, though?
I think it's very important that you find someone who has already achieved what you want to achieve.
One of the things about when I think about you, and that I also think about when I look at Michael, is you guys are people that would probably be great to be in a relationship with, but also going to be really difficult to be in a relationship with, because you guys' standards are going to be super high, right? Do you have a lot of women chasing after you?
I think a lot of people will be more interested in hearing about this guy, because I'm a done case. I'm with a wife and a 3-year-old boss at home.
You know, I really don't think about it that much, Phoebe, but you did mention high standard. That standard is not just in your relationships, but in your work and everything you do.
Wow.
Speaking of work and everything you do, okay, I completely forgot to ask you this. So I have a big dilemma of a 1-pack. Now, I know you've got your 6-pack right there underneath that. How do you do that? Because I find hitting the gym absolutely boring, because it's just you facing your own self. How do you make it entertaining?
Right. So Michael, let me ask you a question. If you were to choose a car, any car in the world, and money is not a matter, what car would you choose?
Probably a Porsche or a Jeep.
A Porsche, right? If you can only keep that car for the rest of your life, how would you treat it?
That's a very good point.
The thing about loving yourself is when we say that, most people tend to misunderstand that. There comes a philosophical question, who are you? What is yourself? I just say love life.
A lot of people, myself included, I have this very bad prejudice about gym lovers. I tend to think that they are in love with themselves too much. They're a massive narcissist.
I mean, really, if you don't treat yourself nicely, who are you going to treat nicely? In my line of work, I do believe that the body and the mind are inseparable. All right, so if you work on your body, you get higher energy. And if you do positive things mentally, you also have a healthier body. And I would say, to help anyone, first you have to help yourself first.
Right? I agree with you, but I disagree with you, Michael. Everybody wants to look good. I want to look good. You want to look good. You probably want to look good. Everybody wants to be healthy.
Right.
Same thing with all of us. Same thing with everyone else. So the gym is a medium for them to reach that destination.
Yes, I can't argue against that. But how do you make it entertaining? I still don't get it.
Do you have to be motivated to eat? Once it has become an essential part of your life, then you just do it. What you need is building the right habits and the discipline.
You see exercise as a way of necessity?
I see exercise as the way for me to enjoy my life more, right? And for all of my students and trainees to enjoy their lives more.
So speaking of enjoyment, how do you inspire this enjoyment among your students?
We do a lot of things. I teach them academic knowledge, yes, but I also train them. For example, some of them can hold their breath for more than 2 minutes now. So we do a lot of physical training in addition to all the English learning and the scholarship, hunting kind of process.
How do these two things connect?
Yeah, so when I started, a lot of people had that question, like, wow, I mean, how do you connect working out and getting scholarships in the US? So I was just like, they are all part of a bigger picture, because when students want to study in the US, for example, what they really want is a better quality of life. And what they really want is what's going to come out after they have that journey in the US. So why don't we work on it now?
I think when we talk about achievements, there's definitely a section in the IELTS FACE-OFF show that can really challenge us. So shall we go on to the IELTS challenge?
Hell yeah, I'm pumped. How about you, buddy?
All right, sure.
All right, IELTS FACE-OFF
challenge.
Do it. Coming right up next. We're back in the IELTS FACE-OFF studio, and this is the IELTS FACE-OFF challenge. In this new challenge, we're also going to involve one audience member. That's the beauty of having an audience in this season. That audience member will team with one of us, and we are going to play a game of pictures. Are we ready?
So ready.
All right, is the audience member ready? Okay, come on up. now the IELTS Face-Off Challenge, but there's only one rule. The person who is acting out the picture or the verb or the noun or whatever cannot speak. So we've now divided ourselves into two teams, and we have a very special audience member here. So
Awesome.
shall we find out about you? So what's your name, where are you from, why are you here, and what do you want from this game?
Firstly, I want to say greeting to everybody here. My name is Hồng Vân and I'm from Ninh Bình City. I'm very curious about how IELTS FACE-Offs are made. Luckily, I play this game and my aim is actually winning.
Ooh,
That's what I'm talking about. That's the right attitude,
I like having you on my team
That's what I'm
already.
talking about. We got some tough opponents, but I think we got this.
All right, bring it on, ladies.
All right, we're gonna start first. Ladies first, right?
All right, so
Sure.
All right, can we have the
We'll watch you.
set of nouns, please? Okay, you're gonna act it out, and I'm going to guess what the thing is.
All right.
Corkscrew.
I think I know this word.
Sit. To sit. Oh, baby. Baby. Cradling the baby. The baby learning to sit. What is this? Oh, sitting and holding a baby. Babysitting. Babysitting!
That's cool, we'll give him that.
okay, fine. We'll give it
Climbing a rope. Plucking fruits. Climbing a mountain. Raking the... Stepping. Climbing. Oh, dear. Oh, no.
This is harder than I thought.
Oh, dear. Gong. What's the time? I'm gonna hit myself. Tapping. Punching.
Oh dear.
I want to replay. Swimming in the ocean. Diving. Scuba diving. Free diving. What are these words? Wait, I want to see them.
All right, Michael.
Real, ladies.
I think we got this. Come
You're
on,
gonna
bro.
lose, Michael.
So my jacket.
Come on, bro. We got this.
I'm gonna make sure you lose.
All right, let's warm up a little bit. Do some jumping jacks.
That's right.
No, are you,
Take down competition.
what are you doing? What are you doing?
Man, I'm ready. All right.
I'm pumped. Okay, let's do this. Start now? Yeah? Okay, cool.
Reading.
Okay, hang on.
Thinking. Drinking. Oh, karaoke.
Singing.
Karaoke.
Sleepwalking. Singing. Oh,
Sneezing.
they got easy ones. Why?
2 points.
No.
Push up. Pushing up.
What? This is not fair. Get another one.
Throwing.
No.
This is not
Orchestrating.
fair.
What are you doing?
Winking. Flirting. Yeah.
I'm good at this stuff.
Money raining. Raining money. Paying. Buying. Giving back. Giving away.
No, it's shopping.
Oh, God. All right, good job, brother. I'm proud of you. I think we got this.
Okay, thank you very much, Ben.
Thank you, Bun.
Thank you,
You were
Bun.
awesome, Bun.
You're gonna
You
get
were
a prize.
awesome.
Hey, Eric, thanks so much for the good game.
Thank you very much.
So when it comes to talking about your life motto and your vision and what you do with other people, what are some of the idioms and what are some of the vocabulary in English that you can use to kind of summarize it?
If you love life, do not waste time, think long term. So those are 2 examples. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks so much.
All right.
Yeah, Michael, it's time for us to go into another region of Vietnam.
Sounds exciting. I've always wanted to get out of the studio anyway because I feel free. I'm a free spirit. I like that. Let's do it.
All right. You'll see what it is coming right up next.
Hello viewers, hello all of you guys on the set of IELTS FACE-OFF. My name is Tùng Đặng and this is IELTS On The Go. As you can tell from the beautiful cascading rice fields behind me, we're in the northwest of Vietnam. And I'm sure just from the scenery you guys cannot pinpoint exactly where I am. So in order to shed some light on my precise location, I've enlisted the help of a local. So please say hi to our beautiful special guest.
Hey guys.
Could you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Well, my name is Trang. I'm 17 years old, and I'm currently the student from Nguyễn Tất Thành Gifted High School in Yên Bái.
Okay, so you're born and raised here.
Yeah.
Okay, a daughter of Yên Bái, but she doesn't sound like a daughter of Yên Bái at all. She sounds like she's a daughter of like the United States or something. I mean, beautiful pronunciation, by the way. So in the previous season of IELTS On The Go, I went to all the far-flung corners of Vietnam and I shared with you what I knew about these regions to you guys. But I don't think I did justice to the beauty as well as the unique heritage of each place. So in this season, we've kind of switched it up a little bit and we're gonna ask the locals, the people who are actually from here, to talk to you guys about what these regions have to offer. So when talking about Yên Bái, what can you tell me about it? What makes you most proud of your hometown?
Well, talking about Yên Bái, I was born and raised here, and I've spent the better part of my life in this land, and it has relatively remained unchanged. Yên Bái doesn't boast the natural spectacles of Quảng Ninh, nor does it have all the trappings of the city in Hanoi, but it truly has the beauty of its own, and I call it the beauty of Mù Cang Chải.
Hoàng Liên Mountain in Mù Cang Chải district has two main seasons: the rainy season between May and June, and the harvesting season between late September and early October. In the beginning of summer, the locals make use of the rainwater flowing down from Hoàng Liên Mountains to water the terrace fields and start their new crop. Water flowing down from high to low levels of the fields looks like sparkling mirrors reflecting the blue sky and white clouds, the scene of locals farming in the favorite works of arts for photo lovers. You can see farmers plowing with buffaloes, planting rice, fertilizing the fields, among other activities.
Okay, so as I'm sure you will agree, that was an extremely spectacular performance. Thank you very much. You know, obviously I put it on the spot because you weren't expecting, you know, an IELTS level answer, you know, when talking about your hometown, but you delivered. The pronunciation was obviously her strong suit, but the vocabulary was what really made the answer come alive to people who haven't been to these regions before. I mean, if I closed my eyes, I could, you know, visualize exactly what you were talking about, you know, or at least part of it. You know, and that's the point of you know, the speaking part too. It is to try to be as descriptive as possible, and you absolutely nailed it. Thank you very much. So let's talk about the test because this is an IELTS show after all. Are you planning on taking the IELTS anytime soon?
Well, probably next month.
Okay. And any difficulties that you're, you know, having when preparing for the test?
Well, right now I'm really struggling with reading and speaking.
Reading and speaking. Okay, why reading?
Well, you know, the reading IELTS, it has like a really strange words.
Okay.
And sometimes
terminologies.
Yes, and the idioms, the connotations, sometimes I just can't get them across.
Yeah, so like if you read each word individually, you understand them all, but when you put it all together, it just doesn't really make sense because,
that's right,
you know, expressions you haven't heard before. What are you struggling with in terms of the speaking test?
Well,
I mean, obviously you're doing quite well, as far as I can tell.
In my city, we don't really have like a proper classes.
I think this is a common problem that not only you, but a lot of, you know, young students in Vietnam are currently facing. So in order to overcome these challenges together, we're gonna hear from our IELTS experts on the set of IELTS FACE-OFF. So let's get back to the set of IELTS FACE-OFF, shall we?
Hello, and welcome back from mountainous Vietnam to the studio of IELTS FACE-OFF down on earth. What's different about this season, Phoebe?
Oh, so many things are different. But you know, there are certain things that are quite constant though.
Right, what may that be?
Well, what do you think?
Is that the expert section?
It is definitely the expert. And which expert do you think is going to come back this season?
Lily Cantman.
Yes, Lily is here actually.
Let's bring in the lady from Ireland.
Hi, thanks for having me back. Yes, lovely to see you. Yeah, thank you. And Phoebe, pleasure as always. Yeah. Lovely to be here.
You want to take a seat in your,
Thank you.
in your special seat in the middle?
Thank you.
Swim positions. Wow. Okay, so
It's been a while. You've taken the belts last season.
That's right, yeah, but I had to phone a family member.
How's your life been so far?
It's been great, yeah. That was, I guess I'm just busy with work and kids and travel and that sort of stuff, all the usual.
Now I know the speaking section that we're going to see in the next section of the show. You're going to be talking about how sometimes idioms are not always the way to go.
That's right. Yeah. I guess when it comes to idioms or any other language, particularly that's more complex or that's less common, we can't just throw it in there because we learnt it in a book. To score well in IELTS, we need to use language in a way that Cambridge describes as flexible or natural. So unless we can actually integrate that idiom into our spoken piece with sort of skill and finesse.
But I think a lot of the audience are waiting for our tip section. All right, guys, it's the tips for the speaking section this time. In this section, and in this season of IELTS FACE-OFF, we're going to have an audience quizzing section. Are you ready for the first quiz?
Yeah, sounds great.
So have a look at the question.
voila! Okay, so in speaking tests, candidates must use as many idioms as possible. We've got the first question for this season. Now, do we have a first answerer for this season?
True or false? Anybody want to volunteer? Yes, I see a lovely man over there.
False. It's a little bit dangerous to talk about using as many idioms as possible. Use of idiom in your part 2 or part 3 response that can demonstrate a range of language. But to get those higher scores that are going to guarantee you a place at uni abroad or that are going to bring you closer to getting a scholarship, your use of idioms and all other language when you speak needs to be flexible, needs to be natural.
What is basically a way in which, is there a formula in which people can structure their idiom so that they're using it correctly?
I think the difficult thing with it, well, the definition of an idiom is it's difficult to discern the pragmatic meaning or what it means within a specific culture just by looking at the vocabulary items. So that means that it's quite difficult to learn idioms without having a clear context in which you come across that language. Read the literature or read the newspapers, watch the films, watch the TV shows, so that you can get a sense of how we use that.
Well, you know, we've been challenging a lot of our audience, and now it's time for our audience to challenge us. You know, it's time to ask Lily and Michael and myself some really difficult questions. So who's up for the challenge?
I have one question. Should not we provide some facts, especially in IELTS Part 3?
So in that part of the test, we are looking at the quality of your ideas, but we're also looking at your pronunciation and your ability to use a range of pronunciation features, the range and accuracy of your vocabulary and your grammar as well. So no, it's not essential that you include those facts, but absolutely if you know them, that's great.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good question.
I want to ask a question that, is it a matter if in the speaking test you'll be stopped a lot of time in the speaking test?
The examiner is required to keep to specified time limits for each part of the exam. And the most common time for the examiner to stop you in the IELTS exam is in speaking part 2, the longer turn. So in that part of the exam, you have 1 to 2 minutes to talk. And if you reach that 2-minute mark, the examiner will cut you off respectfully.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So what does that say about the speaking section of the IELTS test? Why is it there?
I think we need it there because the exam it's competencies based, so it's about actually demonstrating skills. Yeah, so when we put a student in a situation where they have to actually show us how they use that knowledge they've got to demonstrate that ability to actually have an interaction.
You know, it's so difficult to actually envision and imagine what those few minutes look like. And so we're going to show it to you right next and help you to be on your way to perfect communication in the IELTS speaking exam with our Voice of the Week section.
So every year we sent out a message of love, reaching out to people to get them to respond to us, to get them involved in Voice of the Week. And this year we received 400 entries this year, and the following is one of the best.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. I don't really know when you watch this video, so I just want to send all of you a nice greeting. My name is Long, Bùi Ngọc Long to be exact. Today, I would like to share with you my journey of learning English. You know, when I was a schoolboy, I was not really into learning English at all. But one day, while watching a TV series on Star World channel, which is 4th channel now, I just came across Mariah Carey on American Idol. And I was completely mesmerized by her stunning appearance and, you know, her unique style of speaking, which was beautifully elegant. However, at that point, I didn't know a thing about her, and on top of that, all what she's speaking was all Greek to me. All of a sudden, it occurred to me that I had to invest more in English just to know more about Mariah and, you know, interpret all what she delivered. And so at present, I am so grateful to Mariah for being one of my biggest inspirations to learn English when I was young.
Damn! You could listen to that guy all day.
Yes, so Mariah inspired. Bùi Ngọc Long, where are you?
You ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, off to you. Let's go.
Yeah, thank you. I hope everything is gonna be okay.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Give the guy some limelight. Hey buddy, how are you doing?
Are you feeling right tonight? I feel very nervous, you know.
Another round of applause for this guy, man. Seriously. Are you ready for the little challenge? This is a piece of cake for you anyway, so...
Not a piece of cake today.
I'm sure you're going to nail it. So, time to showcase what you've got.
Okay, hi Lam, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm well, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
So in the first part of practice test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your hometown.
Oh,
where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from, you know, hometown, which is basically a far-flung area in Vĩnh Long province. Lifestyle here, yeah, it's very low-key and laid-back, so I love it.
Okay, and are there any things that you don't like about your hometown?
It would be a lack of entertainment or recreational facilities like, you know, cinemas, amusement parks, or even buffet restaurant or kind of thing. But, you know, it doesn't matter if you just want to lead a simple life.
Okay, so Long, in the next part of the test, I'd like you to talk about a topic for 1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make some notes if you wish.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
So you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll
Yeah.
tell you when the time is up. And can I ask you to please start speaking now?
Okay. I would like to talk about a party I took part in when I paid a visit to Dallas City, which is the La La Land of Vietnam. A couple of years ago, when I traveled to that city for just vacation, and I had a great chance to attend a vegan party on an organic farm. The party served a lot of healthy, plant-based meals for vegetarians, and actually stuck my face there. And yeah, the host of the party was Rosie Nguyen, who is one of the most prominent motivational speakers in Vietnam. And I remember she actually provided us lots of health tips to be on the way to flexitarianism, and I got truly inspired because, you know, at that time I was suffering very badly from some digestive disorders and gastrointestinal diseases like dyspepsia, constipation, or even diarrhea. So I then ended up being flexitarian could be the holistic approach to eradicate all of my lingering illnesses. And you know, at the end of the party, Rosie actually gave me a book named The Enzyme Factor by Hiromi Sinya. And you know, after I finished my trip, return home, I began to, you know, change my dietary habits completely. And after 3 months of putting the knowledge I gained at the party into practice, I was perfectly happy to say goodbye to all of my long-term problems.
Thanks very much.
Okay.
Could I have your task card and also your paper and pencil?
Yeah, finally.
All right, thanks, Long. So in the last part of the IELTS test, I'm going to ask you a few questions that are related to part 2. Can you tell me what kind of parties are popular in Vietnam? Is it all about veganism, or are there some other things going on in the party scene as well?
In Vietnam, I think birthday, farewell, graduation party are the most popular. Birthday means the world to some people, especially children. And you know, they are often in great anticipation of, you know, lots of presents, or at least a small party. And you know, as for me, when I was a little kid, I was super eager to have some friends in my neighborhood over to celebrate my big days. Yeah.
Thanks, Long. That's the end of this speaking test. Yeah.
Well done, Long. I see what you were trying to do there. You were trying to play down our expectations, and then you just completely blew us away with your performance, yeah? But that's what I thought about it, and now I wonder what you guys think about it here at the studio. So you've got 30 seconds to get voting right now. So let's get on it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the results are in.
Moments of truth.
32% of you voted for 7 to 7.5. Almost half, 47% of you voted for above a 7.5. Lily, do you agree? What is your opinion?
Well, can I just say, Lau, I think you absolutely smashed it. Yeah, so in terms of things like grammatical range and accuracy, like so impressive. Lexical range, again, fantastic, and that flexible sort of natural use of language we're looking for. Also, when we're getting up towards those higher end band scores around pronunciation, we're really looking for a whole range of phonology features. And wow, you brought a lot to the table. So you're very expressive in how you use things like emphatic stress, and you've got a really nice rhythm to your delivery in English as well. So it's fantastic. Overall, fantastic job. Well done. Yeah, really impressed. Nice work. Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah.
And for being good, we also have a special treat for you too.
Ooh, would you guys like to come over here?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. It's not Christmas yet, but Merry Christmas anyway.
Ooh, bit of merch. Nice. Yeah.
Well, you know, Long, there's even going to be another special gift for you if people vote for you at the end of the year. The winner of the end of the year Voice of the Week or Voice of the Year will get a chance to go to Australia and visit Macquarie University.
Sounds exciting, right? That means hanging out with me down under. So
yeah, in the best country in the world, if you got that bit, yeah.
Indeed. So if you really liked his performance, if you want to root for him to come down to Australia, and if you found the right candidate, vote for Long And speaking of Australia, the best country in the world, right?
Yes, I'm not going to argue with that.
You may be wondering what destination this guy, or anyone who deserves it, is heading to. Why don't we check out what the destination is in that video.
Well, I personally didn't study in Australia, but watching that video, it's incredible. And it's definitely a motivation for everybody to participate in the Voice of the Week section. So guys, come on in, compete, and win. So thank you guys for coming, and I really do hope you win at the end of the year.
Hey, thanks, Phoebe. Good luck, love.
And for everybody else at home, there's always another new thing that we will give you with each season of the show. Take a look at the next section. Hey! We have a new, completely different section this time. If you're interested to be able to experience the world, we're going to give you a glimpse into what it's like to be in the UK. Michael, have you been to the UK before?
Of course. Where do you think my accent is from? And if you're interested in learning more about the land where I grew up, as well as what it's like to be in Britain, the following video will give you a taste. Take a look.
Wales, with its heritage and proud history for promoting access to education. In classrooms and schools across Wales, strong foundations have been built to deliver an education system that is a source of national pride and public confidence.
This is Wales' 70th year anniversary of opening the first Welsh school, so it's really happy out here today.
Wales education ensures every young person has an equal opportunity to reach the highest standards.
Hey guys! So, I'm Thảo and I am back again with the IELTS FACE-OFF. So you may or may not have guessed, through the montage that you've just seen, we are in Wales, and particularly Cardiff City. So this is the first episode of Studying UK 101, and I am delighted to be your host for this segment. So what are we gonna do here? We're gonna learn about education, we're gonna talk to people, we're gonna go around the city. It's gonna be great, and let's see some footages.
Wales is proving to be a very attractive destination to international students, offering a unique, vibrant, and welcoming experience. International students enrich the students' experience, enhance learning and teaching, and help to make Welsh graduates more prepared for the international labour market in a range of cultural settings.
Xin chào. Wales has some fantastic universities. We are highly regarded for our teaching and learning and our research capabilities. Wales is also a really safe and friendly nation. The cost of living in Wales is also cheaper than many parts of the United Kingdom. We have a wonderful environment and we have good transport links. What we do know is that students who study in Wales repeatedly in survey after survey say they really enjoy the experience. Well, international students are a part of the strength of our system. We really appreciate the diversity that students from around the globe can bring to our universities. So you can be assured that as an international student, your university will have a tailor-made package to ensure that your time studying with us will be a success. But crucially, we have partnered with Chevening Scholarships so that students from Vietnam can study free of charge at a postgraduate level at our institutions. So those exciting scholarship opportunities really makes a difference for the opportunities of Vietnamese students to come and study here in Wales. In our universities, we're supporting our institutions to improve their teaching and learning and to provide new and exciting opportunities, investing in their estate so that student experience gets even better.
So in the UK, it's like really multicultural and really diverse, and it's like the perfect place for you to kind of like open up your eyes and discover like a whole big new world full of like opportunities and things. And equality is a big thing here as well, so it's perfect for me because, you know, as a female, and I'm quite like bossy and proactive, so I really love being here because I get to be in charge of like what I'm doing with my life, and that's a perfect thing. And also in Wales, it's like really good living cost, really safe. People are super nice and friendly. So it's a really welcoming place for when you first started studying in the UK.
After 2 years studying in the UK, what I like the most about the country is about how advanced it is in like technologies and day-to-day stuff. Like the bus and the train stuff, you can get it like on the mobile, and everything is so easy, everything is so in reach, and everything is just, you can get it very easily. And that is why I love the UK, and it's just convenience to do everything here. In the UK, like everyone is so friendly, everyone is here to help you to achieve your goals, your dreams, and what you set out to do. And the academic life is quite enjoyable if you know how to experience it.
We've just heard from our Vietnamese students who have studied in Wales, and I'm sure you guys are very excited and very interested in their individual experiences. Therefore, next week we're going to take you to the schools in Wales and actually show you all the details about their education, their professors, more student experiences, and it's going to be very fun. It's going to be very informative, and it's going to be overall very exciting. I'm excited, so I'll see you guys in the following episodes, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!
I think amazing video. Our lovely friend Thảo has gone great lengths just to show us what it's like to study in the UK. Have you been?
I don't know about the UK, but throughout the entire video, I think the host was quite a babe, wasn't she?
Oh, come on.
So, is there any way we could bring any more babes from Wales?
We do have a beautiful lady today in the audience, and she's one of the UK study ambassadors. She's going to be talking about her own experiences in the UK.
Ooh la la.
Yeah, do you know who she is?
No. Where are you? Can you show yourself?
Hi. Hi, IELTS FACE-OFF. Hi, Phoebe. Hi, Michael. My name's Hương. 2 years ago, I was graduated from the University of South Wales, yes. So very nice to be here with you.
What did you study?
I was studying in the master course called Safety, Health and Environmental Management.
When talking about studying in the UK, most people tend to think about London, England. Why did you choose Wales for this course of yours?
Firstly, when I applied for the Chevening Scholarship, I need to choose 3 different courses. First, when I applied to the University of South Wales, I have no idea how Wales look like. But I just focus on the course that I want to apply for. But then before I get on the plane, I did take a look, do some research. I put the address of Wales on the Google Street View and to see, and I was amazed. But only when I put my first step on Wales, I love it. It's just how beautiful, how majestic the landscape around the university, the neighborhood, it's all amazing. A lot of people from Vietnam or Asian, when they think of going to study in the UK, they wanted to experience city life, but Wales is something else. Wales is like a fairy tale, very peaceful.
So how are the people there? Did you manage to get good friends, make good friends and relationships when you were in Wales?
more than 1 year. I met a lot of friends who also study in the University of South Wales, and the people who came from other university, like in Cardiff, for example. Not only the people who came from Vietnam, also other people who came from other part of the world.
All right, thank you very, very much. Thanks for coming, and thanks for sharing all of your experiences. Yeah, we wish you all the best for your experience. Guys, it was so lovely to see our lovely friend Nguyễn Lâm Thảo Tâm to show us a glimpse of what it's like to be in Wales.
And there's a lot more on offer too, as she's still on the ground. There'll be more of Wales that you can see. And did you know it was actually filmed in, Game of Thrones was actually filmed in Wales?
Oh, I did not know, but now I do. But there's also something that I think is right now better than Game of Thrones. And it's this little dragon right here. Thumb sent it to us from Wales.
That's cuter than the dragons on Game of Thrones for sure. Now, I can't believe that 1 hour just flew past. I can't believe it's the end of our show today.
Yeah, what do you think of your comeback this time?
I don't know, I've got to ask you about that. But for me, it was really emotional to finally be back here at VTV after all these years. And, I was a bit jealous of you. I was just watching you from Australia, getting all this fame without me. So I got to come back to, give you some trouble.
Okay, well, I'll give you a little bit of trouble. I'll give you this to take care of, and then you can grow it so that it's bigger.
I'm sure I can handle it. I can be the father of dragons.
You can be the father of one dragon, not dragons.
All right, so everything that you've seen today is just a taste of what's to come in the coming weeks. So, what have you got to say to our audiences?
Well, first of all, I think to come back is such a privilege, right? We can always renew ourselves, make our lives better, be a better version of ourselves. We can even love ourselves a little bit more every morning when we wake up. And the idea of a comeback may seem really, really big, but we've been able to consistently do it every year with the show. So I think individually, if we can't do it yearly, we can definitely do it monthly or half yearly. Yeah?
So, if you like what you've seen, do not forget to come back at 9 p.m. on Wednesday and Saturday night on VTV7.
Of course, guys, this is going to be 60 minutes. Our last episode, and we'll reveal what episode it is also going to be 60 minutes. But our regular episodes are about 30 minutes. If you have a date, bring your date or cancel your date, as Michael would probably suggest. I'd say bring your dates. Many of them.
All right, see you on the flip side.
Bye.
Are we dancing now? I've got the dance product.
Audience, come on guys, stand
up. Join us. Yeah, that's it. The man in red.
Yeah, go. Dance. Whoever's the best dancer.